Namaste, Angel. This is going to be a client reading for somebody I've never met or even spoke to. She placed the order for the reading. I received it. I'm doing the reading. So I know absolutely nothing about her, but we're going to see what we can find out, beginning with new love and opening to mature woman. Maybe she's of a mature zodiac sign. Maybe she is older than her partner. Opening now to past life. Past life. And destiny. So whomever she is and whatever the deal is, it looks like she's in the midst of some karmic energies. And I don't mean karmic as in a negative. I mean karmic as in of the universe. And opening to young male. So it may in fact be one of these May-December relationships, or perhaps this represents like her son or something. Past life, new love back. Well, opposite new love, I think it may in fact be one of those May-December relationships. Past life back. I'm just going to cut on this note. And we've come to Beauty Queen, which is about feeling good about oneself. It's kind of Nine of Pentacles-ish for me, or even Empress, right? Just feeling really attractive, being really attractive, like inside and out, glowing even, confidence, all of that. Self-esteem up. The overall energy is courting man. This will represent the divine couple. The recent past, the near future, the masculine's higher self, blocks to the union, what the feminine can do, the masculine can do in this situation, further advice from the universe for both, and the outcome. Divine couple, dating queen. Well, this is pretty appropriate, it would seem, with an overall energy of courting man, and on the heels of beauty queen, they may both be particularly attractive right now and have their share of suitors and or admirers. Maybe they are otherwise single individuals about to meet. Like I said, I don't know anything, and I've only turned over one card. So this can be somebody who hasn't yet met a partner, is seeking one. Recent past, past life. So maybe some occurrences with which they weren't familiar, that they began to take note of. I mean, you guys know what I mean when you start to see things happening, synchronicities and different things, and you're like, what's going on with me? That may be the case here. Near future. Money, which can also mean several things. It can be actual money, especially when even this week we have a nice transit with Venus on Tuesday. Venus and Pluto on Tuesday. That could be something bringing the money. It can be value, not necessarily money, but value, abundance in general, including love. Masculine's higher self. True love. Very nice. Blocks to union. Wallflower. Somebody's not fully engaged, and it may be their personality. It may even be their, a trait of their zodiac sign, because I tend to see this card as, a Gemini, a Scorpio, or a Capricorn, or somebody of any of those traits that may, like with a Gemini, it may appear to be, like the most popular, the life of the party, but we really don't want to be bothered. So yeah, we're at the party, but we might be by ourselves. Very Scorpio and Capricorn, very similar. Like they're around and they have the potential to be super, popular and well liked, but they're kind of withdrawn and to themselves. So that's wallflower, like not joining the game, not being in the moment necessarily either. What can the feminine do here? The soulmate involved. You may have to like narrow this down. This can be a karmic soulmate. Soulmate sitting here under dating queen with all these potential suitors and crossing past life. There can be a quote unquote karmic soulmate involved that you need to dispense with. That may be why the masculine, while is in true love and views the union and you as true love, is not fully engaged. What can the masculine do here? He can accept his past life experiences through which he's going as spiritual growth, and whatever he ends up feeling, experiencing, seeing, having to deal with as a result of any of this as spiritual growth. So it's positive. It's all positive at the end of the day, regardless of whatever it is. Further advice from the universe. Dark male. And it's sitting here next to true love. So if there's a choice, if there's a confusion as to who is the partner, is it dark male or is it someone else? I would say it's dark male. And dark male, again, may be a Gemini, Scorpio, or Capricorn specifically, or somebody of like those behaviors, traits. And it is like a past life connection. And he may even be a soulmate as well, with this row, but not the quote unquote karmic one. Outcome. Children. I think this is the birth of something new. We started out with new love and now we're on children. This came up in the collective reading, definitely as a message of new things. Threes represent, in addition to potential parties of three, and there's three hands, or the hands of three people, 1, 2, 3, coming out this woman, in this card, and then here, threes do represent for me what I like to call parties of three. They're not always romantic. They can be though, like a love triangle, traditional love triangle. But threes also represent abundance. Again, you have money sitting here. You have children, and I started out with new love. So I think that this is part of the new that's being demonstrated here, that's on its way to you. But if you were questioning of those who were courting you, who was who, which was which, again, I say dark male. I'm going to go now to the mystic in my Tony Carmine Solano Universal Love Oracle. The mystic is about paying close attention to our intuition. Can be about online dating for me, and the sign of Aquarius, other electronic communication, texting, email, things of that nature. But definitely, yeah, paying close attention to any messages you may receive from the universe, however you might receive them. Like she's got a lot of, I don't know if you can see these wisps of air like around her eyes, and then this star, of course, as her third eye. She looks to be somebody who receives a lot of her messages that way. But however one does, pay close attention to that. And this is like doubling down on that message, divine guidance. So when you receive divine guidance, again, you're to follow it. And if you need more, it doesn't run out. It's infinite, right? That goes on forever. The main message, most prevalent message when you see this card for me is first, surrender, right? First and foremost, that's the most important message, surrender. That will allow you to receive all the other messages that may come in. And the moon suggests surrender for me. The mystic and reflection. This is about the need to, like I said, that one person, and it could represent both actually, or, either, that one person that wasn't fully engaged. This is about, looking at your life so that you can live in the moment, be present, an active participant in your own life, an active, willing participant. This guides you to, take a look back, take a look forward. What are your goals? What have you learned from, where you came? And how can you apply either to your present situation to make those goals come true and to not repeat your mistakes? Reflection. Also incorporating, in your case, your intuition. Reflection and expectancy. This card also came up for the collective this week. It's about our need to let go of our own expectations. Like, we cannot force any of this. Surrender is very important. So to take us back to that divine guidance card and the energy of the moon that was there, the moon represents feminine energy of surrender. When we see it, that's what we're guided to do. And that's absolutely what we're guided to do when we see this card as well. This card means that we are blocking our own blessings when it turns up. Now, intuitive meaning, I can also apply it to newness again, that is coming to you. Like you are fruitful, fertile, with new energy, new ideas, new abundance that is coming to you. But the textbook meaning of this card is, I summarize it as like not to block your blessings, not to box yourself in. We can't dictate to the universe, what we want, how we want, when we want it, because when we do, we limit it. If I say, because our minds can't conceive what it can really give us. So if I say, I want a desk, yes, I want it brown, I want it this size, I want it, then I'm limiting myself to what kind I get. Maybe the universe wanted to bestow upon me, yes, something brown, but maybe it's brown because it's made out of bronze and I've specified wood, so now I've blocked my blessing from, the precious metal. Don't do that. That's what this is about. Reflection. One more. It's creativity. So more energy of Aquarius, possibly, as well as potentially Pisces or the water sign. But this card also represents like abundance and newness. And some of it's abundance like earned from doing work or something, from working on something like projects or actual employment about which we are truly passionate. So we get to come up with creative ways as to how to do it and then become abundant by it. And that can apply to work or love. As it relates to love and relationships, it's co-creating the relationship of our, desires, our passions, and making it come true, making it come to life. Reflection. I'll cut. Expectancy back. And the overall energy is healing sounds, which guides us to, you can be working on clairaudience. It can be healing through different, some sort of audio. So I like binaural tones, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be music, right? Music is therapeutic as well, in any genre, whatever is your preference. It can be motivational speaking. You want to pop a tape in of, I don't know, your favorite, your favorite motivational speaker, and you listen to that. That can be healing and therapeutic for you. But it's some sort of meditation that guides you, that reinforces positive energy via some sort of audio vehicle, media. The feminine about herself, the masculine about the feminine, about himself, and the union. Overall, what the feminine can do. I was almost guided to lay them a little bit out of order. The masculine, what he's willing to do. But this is what not only what the feminine can do, but what the masculine would have her do specifically. What the universe would have the two do. And the outcome. Feminine. Listening. More Aquarius or air sign. It doesn't have to be Aquarius. But all these stars are screaming Aquarius to me. But it could represent any air sign, basically. And listening. So we have an overall energy of healing sounds, and now we have this of listening. And initially, we started out with you being guided to listen to your intuition. So definitely, decide upon what or to what it is you would like to listen as some form of meditation, and I would get started on that right away as a practice. Also, just listening to your own thoughts, listening to your heart, spending some quiet time alone. If you can do that in nature, if you live in an area that's at all conducive to doing that in nature, that is fabulous. And then even sometimes while you're outside alone, maybe, you want to begin just listening to your thoughts and talking to yourself and talking to the universe. And then you want to finish off by putting on some headphones. And then you've done all of the above, while communing with the universe. Masculine about the feminine. Inner child and more stars. There's like a need to communicate too. But this is him like willfully joining in on that expectancy and seeing the newness, within you and the possibilities there. He may also have something to say though to you that he's been holding back, or feel that you have something to say that you've been holding back from. And that may stem from your childhood. The masculine about himself here. Now he is ending up with the Mystic card, and is also taking into account that he needs to pay attention to his intuition as well. And maybe even communicate. Up his communication. Like I said, he may have something to say to you. That's being sort of reaffirmed by this card. These 3 cards in a row have this star in them, or these stars. This one has 1. This one has 3. This can be reflective of the party of 3 yet again. This one has 1. The masculine about the union as a whole, creativity, and another star right here in her forehead in the center. When this card comes up for me in this position, it's about the desire to co-create, as I mentioned before, like the working together on the union and designing it in a way that is like specifically tailor-made for us by us, and where we're able to live and love how we choose to do so. Overall, celebration, very nice. To me, this is about sanctity, right? The sacredness of these unions and everything that we do together. I guess primarily because of the dove. The dove reminds me of the Pentecost. To me, it is a Pentecostal dove. And therefore, it's also about ascension for me. And we can be celebrating that too. Celebrating our own rise, celebrating our own rebirth, right? Maybe the old you is dead and gone. And that's part of the newness. You were reborn. The masculine's reborn. The unions were therefore reborn. Because that's what the event of the Pentecost was about. It was after the resurrection when not only Jesus, but other quote unquote saints, according to the scriptures, were risen from the dead and, walked about and among us, among those, who were alive and present at the time for 40 days. And of course, that was cause for celebration, to say the least. What would the masculine have you do? Reflection. So this is very important to him for you to do in order to move forward. And I think maybe particularly you've got to go back to some moment in your childhood where you were affected, whether it was negatively, positively. There's something that you didn't necessarily complete then. And it requires completion. Like that child was left with something to say or something on her mind that needs to be resolved now. So you've got to go back to her and take care of that. Over the masculine, what is he willing to do himself? Tantric union. So if you don't come together in the physical, I mean, you can, this can happen in the physical, absolutely too. Tantra, there are various aspects of it. And in the physical, it can be a very fun one. But this is also about ascended communication for me. And crossing the mystic, it can absolutely be that telepathy between the two of you. Maybe also in dreams, that kind of communication. Electronic communication can be, we are energy. We are electronic ourselves. It can be that sort of transmission too. And even those messages you need to listen to, take note of. Maybe keep a notepad or something if you have a nightstand or something like on your, by your bed or whatever, even on the floor. I don't want to redesign your bedroom for you. You don't have to have a nightstand. That's not a necessity. Yeah, you just somewhere nearby, even in the bed with you, pen, paper, under your pillow, whatever, to write down your dreams when you wake up, so before you forget them, because there could be messages contained from the universe, from the masculine, from both. What would the universe have the two of you do? Speaking of the universe, this can be air and water coming together, especially sitting here atop this other card, which I mentioned before. For me is Aquarius and Pisces, or air and water, potentially. We have another one right atop it, Balance, which is very air and water to me. I don't know if you can see, but there's all these, like, to me, what look like wisps of air. And then we have all this white with something over the throat chakra, something over the third eye, and or the crown chakra. These white circles, and that definitely speaks of air signs to me, right? Air signs are about communication and logic and wisdom. And then you have all this blue here. This is water. Here's even some waves. So this is reflective of water. And the balance that's achieved when air and water come together harmoniously is beautiful. When they come together, tumultuously, that's when we get a tornado or a hurricane or something. Nobody wants that. But again, yeah, when they come together harmoniously, it's a beautiful thing. It is, yin and yang, the embodiment. So that's what we're going for. And the outcome, miracles. Miracles do happen. Air and water can come together without a hurricane, without a tornado. Again, it's a beautiful thing when they do. All right. I'm going to go to my Angel Tarot, begin with the King of Fire, who is motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. The King of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or somebody, of those traits or attributes. And most recently, at least this week, because there's been so much Mars activity, both actually in the celestial system, which we've gone over in the astronomy portion of our weeklies, but also more astrologically as it relates to the zodiacs. I've also been connecting this to Scorpio because Mars is a co-ruler of Scorpio as well. The King of Fire, additionally, is the quintessential divine masculine of the tarot. And opening 2, Ego with Archangel Jophiel, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So this could be like the thoughts and the belief maybe that miracles don't happen. We just saw the outcome of You're the Spread that miracles do, and miracles will for you. But, you know, it's like that kind of thinking, or possibly speaking negativity over your life, blocking your blessings with the expectancy. All of that stuff can come into play when ego shows up. Ego, or the devil, represents the sign of Capricorn, or which we saw in the beginning with that wallflower, or other earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, or somebody of those traits or attributes. Ego back. And opening to the King of Water, who's trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. He is also a Pisces, perhaps, as the other card suggested, or maybe a Scorpio. Just finished talking about them and Mars, or even a Cancer. The King of Water is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice tend to be received or given when this card shows up. Also charity work, which to me is love. An act of charity is an act of love. The Devil, and it's the 6th of Earth. Gifts of money, time, or effort. New career opportunities. Receiving a loan or paying off debts. This is abundance that comes to you freely, whether it's money or love or both. It comes to you freely without agenda. It's truly based in unconditional love. Even if from a stranger, you know, it's like the love of humanity and fellow man, all that kind of stuff. Without wanting something from you, just genuine charity among brethren that don't have the same mother or father, you know. Or some that do. I mean, that whomever exchanges with you freely, that's to what the card applies. The Devil back. I'll go one more. And it's the Lovers with Archangel Raphael, which represents the sign of Gemini, or perhaps another air sign, Aquarius, Libra. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. Now you have 6 on 6. There can be a decision about a relationship. And the decision may be difficult because one may feel stuck in a particular relationship, although they are not truly. It can also be about one's relationship with money or the material. And that could be making them feel stuck, limited. I can't do XYZ because I don't have enough money. And potentially because they're blocking their blessings. Again. Because they're speaking negativity over their own life and can't and don't have and all that kind of stuff are not, you know, loving words or words of abundance to speak over oneself. Coming to the Ace of Water, falling in love with a resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth, and enhanced intuition, maybe even a new home. So this too is about abundance that makes you very emotionally happy and fulfilled. The Ace, it can actually be an actual person too that's impactful upon you, or part of the union directly. The Ace of Water, again, like the King, is a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, or somebody of those traits or attributes. Ace of Water also often about reconciliation, or like closing the gap on distance. If there's been distance between you, this is like a new start. Again, it makes you tremendously emotionally happy. And the overall energy is the 7 of Earth. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. This means you've already done what was required of you toward a particular end, and now you've just got to be patient, right? You've done the part that was actively required of you. Now what's required of you is to fall back and let the universe work, to surrender. Masculine, the two of air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision. Like I just said, the Lover's card can be about a decision. Two of air, absolutely. Tends to be about a decision. And maybe even having reached a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. Like if I don't open my mail, it'll go away or something like that, which we know doesn't work, but it's that sort of thought. This too is about a decision. So this is the third card. Time to rest or take a vacation. It can be about that too. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. And the Chariot with Archangel Metatron. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. The Chariot is about moving on or moving forward or physically moving or travel. And sitting under the Four of Air can absolutely be about travel, taking a break, taking a trip, maybe going off to gather your thoughts. It can be about modes of transportation too, planes, trains, automobiles. It's a card of major victory. We have all of this going on in the masculine subconscious here. For the feminines, the Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate. But it's not only money. It can be with you. It's any kind of abundance, if you ask me. So if we're like overly giving of ourselves where it's not warranted, that's not healthy. And if we're holding back and restricting ourselves, we're holding back love, withholding it because we're, you know, we've got baggage. We're resentful. We are regretful. We're angry, whatever. So we're withholding love and things. Neither of those is healthy. As it relates to money too, it's similar. Again, it's any kind of abundance. So it's like spending frivolously without, you know, thought about the future. Maybe not learning from some past mistakes where we've done that before and we're like repeating them. Or like hoarding and holding back and, you know, being a penny pincher and lacking. That shows a lack of faith, right? It demonstrates a lack of faith in the universe. Like the universe is not going to provide, that money's not going to be restored. You can't afford to spend it. So neither of those is healthy either. The feminine is surrounded by the Magician with Archangel Raziel. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them, and life is magical. The Magician also represents the sign of Gemini for me, or perhaps another air sign, or perhaps another mutable sign, Virgo, Pisces, but mostly Gemini, because not only do all the mutable signs have all of the potential to use all of the traits of the other zodiac signs, but Gemini has it times two. So the Magician is the Gemini to me. This can also be about ascension too with Archangel Raziel, because that's what Archangel Raziel is about. And I talked about this during the collective reading as well. If you haven't had a chance to see that one, you may want to watch that one. The general reading. I talked for a few minutes about Archangel Raziel rather, and how he shows up and increases our clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance, so like everything. He is truly the Magician. And feminine subconscious, the Lovers are back, which also represents the sign of Gemini. Intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, good health. So you may be the one who needs to make a decision. You may be awaiting a decision from the masculine. He may be in the driver's seat. You know, has all the cards, as they say, and so you're waiting on him to find out. And in the meantime, you are withholding. You're not being your, you know, true whole self. Crowning. The Six of Fire, victory, good news, it's on its way, public recognition or awards. So you have two cards of victory showing up in this spread. Again, the Chariot is a card of major victory and of the major arcana as well. At the root or foundation here, it's another six. It's the Six of Earth. This is one of my favorite cards, actually, and we went over it a minute ago. Gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, and receiving a loan or paying off debts. It's one of my favorite cards because it's truly about giving freely without agenda. You don't want anything from them. They don't want anything from you. We're just able to give and receive without like having to look over our shoulder and, you know, that kind of like scary, what do I owe you? You know, oh, how much blood is this going to cost me? Blood, sweat, and tears, you know, none of that. You've got 3 6s here on the table. 3 6s can represent the need to be careful about like our thoughts about money and the material, similar to the devil kind of energy. But they're good 6s. Individually, they are very good 6s. Again, victory, unconditional love, and love in general, and or the need to make a decision here with the Lovers. At the heart of the matter, the Knight of Water. Beautiful. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and an invitation to a social event. The Knight of Water is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or somebody of those traits or attributes. He may be a Cancer with the Chariot sitting here. Chariot represents the sign of Cancer. He's emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. So you may be awaiting a decision from this Knight of Water, or he may be awaiting a decision, an answer from you to one of these things here. If not yet, it's coming. And it's a lot. You got a lot of positive cards here. A lot of these 6s are very positive on their own. The Magician can, you know, like Gemini, you know, can be a little bit bipolar, that somebody can be wearing a false mask when the Magician shows up. Yeah, it can indicate that you're going through a little bit of something, you know, mentally or emotionally, maybe a little bit depressed or feeling a little bit bipolar. I don't really mean like a true diagnosis. I mean Gemini style, like mind all over the place, mental anguish, overthinking, you know, to the point that it's like unhealthy and all that kind of stuff. The Magician can also be about that. And again, not being your true whole self, which is what I think it represents here for you. The next card is upside down. Let's try to clarify these with the romance angels anyway. And you're going to begin a second time with new love. So I started that first deck with the first spread with new love. And new love is to what I shuffled with these cards as well. Doreen Virtue, romance angels. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. And opening 2, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So far, the steps you're guided to take are surrender, letting go of your expectations, which is more surrender, and paying attention to your intuition and other messages that you receive. New love. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So even if you're like waiting a decision, let's say, you don't want to get to the point of so again, mentally anguished and upset that we become a pessimist, like it's never coming, and you know, because that's not healthy either. We've got to remain optimistic. That's how you continue flow to you. That's how the law of attraction works. Positive out is what we receive back, positive. Speaking of the law of attraction, that's what this card is about. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So by being fully engaged and happy and emotionally pleased, that's the energy that you're going to put out as well. And that's what you're going to get back to you. Attraction, I'll go one more. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Well, if they're talking about the red flags in your spread, the only one you have is the 6 of fire. And that's a card of victory. So that would guide you to not be afraid, you know, to take the steps. Just be confident that you're going to be successful in whatever you do. Attraction back. I'll go one more. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Now, this can have more than one meaning for me. Obviously, the very plain and literal let go of your ex, which I think may be the case here for you and or the masculine, having seen a number of 3s thus far. But I think that this is also about, again, loosening the reins on you, like on your being, so that you can fully express yourself in a truthful way, take off the mask and all that kind of stuff. Attraction, I'm going to cut. True love, just like in the first spread. We're repeating the whole first spread here. This is the romance of a lifetime. And the overall energy is trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Atop the Two of Air, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So you could be thinking about reunion. This is also a card of movement for me, though. You see they're traveling by boat, across water. Similarly, the Chariot in this deck, it's not by boat. It's Archangel Metatron pulling two horses. They're passing the moon. So there is this moon in both of these. And both can be about travel. Both can be about movement. Both can be about actually, you guys actually getting together. And maybe that's in part what a decision is about. A decision maybe to invite you to something with the Knight of Water sitting under here. The Knight of Water that can be about, romantic interest and making an offer of love and all of that. Here atop the Four of Air. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So in the beginning, and this came up in the collective reading too, and for the same reason that I'm about to state. For example, in the beginning, I saw the mature woman and the young male that can be, or this is, potentially, there is a, what they call it, quote unquote, May-December relationship here. One is older, one is younger, or, one is more reserved and conservative, and one is more prominent and like youthful and out there, popular and all of that. But this card guides you to like not have any hangups about that stuff. And, it's like not a worry. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, and that's okay. Like, who cares? Atop the Chariot, children. Your love life is being affected by children. These can be yours. These can be the masculines. And particularly in this position, like the masculine subconscious, there could be children that he's thinking about, like wanting to have, maybe that he's dreamed about having. Sometimes we go through that. It can be about, again, newness, because it's atop the Chariot, which is, a card, again, of movement and victory. It could be moving forward, like with a new start, the birth of something new, moving forward toward that. Atop the Four of Earth, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So, like I said, I felt that for one or both of you, you may have a true to form, release your ex situation. There is something from which you need to free yourself, whether it's an ex or this. It's sitting atop that Four of Earth, which I said was a card of you restricting yourself, like a self imprisonment. So you could need to free yourself from that, whether there's an ex involved or not. That withholding of love and withholding of just you, of whatever is truthfully you. And again, that was sitting atop the Magician, which can be about like a false self mask. And atop the Magician is you deserve love. You are lovable. So manifest it. You're the Magician. Bring it in. How do you bring it in? By putting out the positive. That's how you're going to bring it in. How you're going to get it back. Here atop the Lovers, getting to know each other as you reveal your innermost selves to each other. So this is about being the true you again as well. Your whole line is here. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. When you show him the real you, him or her, that brings you closer together. Atop the 6 of fire, worth waiting for, divine timing is at work in your love life. And atop the 6 of earth, chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. And at the heart of the matter, atop the Knight of water, past life relationship, you have known each other before. This can have multiple meaning, this past life relationship card. It can be attached to an ex too. And maybe you have to free yourself from a relationship from your past. Maybe your child's other parent. Maybe that's what the third energy is. Or something like that. Let's see if we can further clarify. Don't want to go for free yourself or children. Free yourself. Although I'm pretty sure I got that one already. Yeah, free yourself. Make yourself available because yes, this is your soulmate. You don't want to keep holding back love and blocking your own blessing from love. You deserve love. You are lovable. The next one is upright as well. I'll use this one for the children and the chariot. Let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. So there could be, he's trying to manage it and maybe even micromanage it, perhaps because it involves children. He's guided to surrender as well, the same way you are. And I'm being greedy here. Past life relationship. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So again, another meaning can be a relationship of, your past as in recent past. This can be the union itself. And coming back into reconciliation, as the Ace of Water suggested and a couple of other cards suggested here. How do we do that? By putting down the heavy baggage, the heavy hearts, and instead being more lighthearted and playful to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. The energy of children. The children could be you in this case, or you could need to be the children. Get lighthearted, youthful, fun, not uptight. Let's try another one. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. My friends, when I get this card for myself, my friends tend to be the angels. That's upon whom I call and ask, the different ones to help me out of specific situations. All right. Next card is upside down anyway. Let's get to this. I gave you 2 cards from the romance deck. I guess you were meant to have 2. All right, from this one, young female. And this may be just representing a youthful fire sign is what's coming through. Perhaps a Sagittarius, that is the more youthful of the fire signs. That this could be guiding guiding again that you guys to be lighthearted, but also this can be connected here to children. Young female can be a daughter or something too. And for you, family. So similarly, like you guys are being guided both to think about establishing like a unit together, like building together something. So we have another 3 here, for example. It's a positive 3 coming together as family. For the masculine, answered prayer. So I think that this is, this is with regard to the whole situation. Letting him know that where he's put his efforts, his thoughts, his prayer, and his faith, he is receiving answers or will receive answers and assistance. And like peace of mind here, where there was a need to make a decision, he'll be guided to something. For you, transients, there's a need for healing. And again, I think it goes back to inner child. But this is about being vulnerable, about surrender, yet again, full surrender, to allow for the healing to take place in any area or whatever, any and all areas in which you need it. From the romance angels to the masculine, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So you both had some sort of past life issue, and not only past life issue, but I think issues from your past in this life that are affecting this relationship, and maybe based on maybe more so the first spread, and the fact that you both either had potential suitors and or partners or whatever. I think some of it may have to do with that and the letting go of these additional energies so that you can come together. You will, when you release that other stuff, you will have more love together in your present moments because it allows you to be present. Attraction. You attract romantic love. The angels want to make sure you don't forget how to do this. By enjoying this moment fully. Very important for that lighthearted energy for you. That loving, lighthearted energy leaving you so that it can be returned. Let go of, you have maybe even to work on some like negative energy of emotion here. Resentment, pain, maybe anger, hurt feelings, regret, ego, whatever it is, work on letting this go. And, if you need help, ask for and accept support from others, even if that means, a doctor. There's nothing wrong with that. A psychologist, a therapist, a pastor, a spiritual teacher, somebody that's going to sit down and listen to you. But again, I call on the angels too. You can do that as well if you feel that's enough for you. Or if you have actual friends on this plane with which you feel comfortable discussing these things, that is also an option too. With the masculine, the king of fire is back. Motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. That fire sign female that popped up, the young female, that could even be him. The fact that the female's on the card doesn't mean anything. It was her hair and her lips that said fire sign to me. It can be the masculine. Or whomever this fire sign energy represents in your union or upon your union, impactful. In any case, the masculine is guided to take his, to play his role, to take his position, his rightful position as, the divine masculine, the king in this situation. For you, from the angels, release, which represents the sign of Scorpio. It is death in the traditional tarot. It's the end of a phase or a situation. We're going to go through a spiritual transformation now. We're going to grow from it because it's time to move on. So another card of movement, basically, metaphorical movement. We're transitioning from something, that existed. Something that existed will never exist again, or will never exist in the same way again, ever. It's completely transformed, like going in a caterpillar and coming out a butterfly. That's what's happening. And it's a good thing. Change is good. It's positive. Death to old energy is good. It is positive. That allows for new birth and rebirth and reconciliation. From the romance angels, yet again, to the masculine, This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And to you, engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, just as I said early on in the reading. I hope that you find this reading helpful to you and that you enjoy it. Namaste, Angel.